Hello, hi, welcome to Angloscope with Valerie Marzak. Let's speak English. Come on, you can do it.
Hello and welcome back. First, let me apologize for my voice. I've just had the flu, I'm still recovering and my voice isn't very good. Today, we're going to talk about intonation. This is our second video on the subject and we're going to talk more specifically about tags or tag questions. And we're going to see first what it means and also how the intonation is going to change the way we're going to reply to a tag question. But before we do that, I'd like to give you the answer to our small challenge from last week, which was, what's the meaning of to take French leave? Another strange one if you're French, as I am. Well, it actually means to leave unnoticed or to leave without asking. What has it got to do with being French? The French are usually quite polite. Well, apparently in the 18th century, some French people would just leave their hosts without saying goodbye. And this is why the English say to take French leave. A funny thing for French students is that in French we say exactly the opposite. We'll see this in the French version of this video. Now, let's talk about tags or tag questions. What's a tag? Well, it's a very English way of stating something and making it followed by a small question. I'll give you an example. I hope you can see what's on the whiteboard. As usual, I'll put the whiteboard at the end of the video, just in case you can't. Here I have a sentence which says, he's new, isn't he? So as you can see, in the first statement, he's new, the auxiliary is, the verb to be. The tag that follows will use the same auxiliary but in the opposite form. In other words, he's new is an affirmative statement, therefore the tag will be negative. He's new, isn't he? Let's have another example. You don't like him, do you? Here, the auxiliary is do in the negative form in the statement. Therefore, in the tag question, it's going to be the same auxiliary, but in the affirmative form, do. So, as you can see here, if the statement is positive, affirmative, the tag will be negative. And if the statement is negative, then the tag will be in the affirmative form. I hope I haven't lost you. Am I going too quickly? Let's have another example. He didn't call you, did he? Here we have the auxiliary do in the past tense and in the negative form. Therefore, the tag is going to be also in the past tense, but in the positive, affirmative form. Now, tag questions may have a falling intonation or a rising intonation. They are not going to mean the same thing and the answer will not be the same depending on this intonation. So the intonation here is very important. If the intonation is falling, and if I said to you, he's new, isn't he? It means I'm quite sure that the person is new. So my reply may be something like, yes, he's new, you're right. But if I said to you, he's new, isn't he? With a rising intonation, it means I'm unsure. And so here, I may reply something like, yes, he is new, you're right, he's new. He wasn't here last year. So first, we are going to repeat these 4 sentences with tag questions using a falling intonation, which means we are rather sure. Listen carefully and repeat after me. He's new, isn't he? She can swim, can't she? You don't like him, do you? He didn't call you, did he? So really, when you're using the falling intonation, you could remove the tag and the meaning would be more or less the same. Now, we're going to use the rising intonation. Listen carefully and repeat. He's new, isn't he? She can swim, can't she? You don't like him, do you? He didn't call you, did he? If I take this last example, he didn't call you, did he? It means not only that I'm unsure, it may also mean I don't want him to have called you. So the intonation is going to be really something to pay attention to when you use a tag. As usual, bear in mind that tag questions usually use a falling intonation because it usually implies that we are sure about something. But if we are not sure, the intonation will be rising. You do follow me, don't you? It means I'm pretty sure you are following what I'm saying. But if I said to you, you do follow me, don't you? I'm unsure you've actually understood me. So here I'm going to use the falling intonation and say, you do follow me, don't you? Now, a small challenge for next time. It's going to be a common expression. What's the meaning of I'm fed up? Give me your answers, don't be shy. Next time we'll talk again about intonation and we'll start talking about expressions that you can use in everyday life in English in order to speak with people. Later on, we'll also talk about how to speak to someone on the phone, how to speak casually, how to speak formally. This will come in time. For the time being, please try to practice the falling intonation and the rising intonation with these tag questions in English, which are a little bit of a funny thing to master, but it should come quite quickly. See you next time. Take care and Happy New Year 2018. Bye for now.